quick run-in on this episode. This is Cycling in the City Part 2, recorded on June 20th. This part is being recorded on June 26th. The video goes live on June 27th. The weather is actually kind of sucked in between, which is why I have not been out back on my bike, and there's a few things in this particular video which I will address as they come up. I wish I had the opportunity to go back out on to see where we were at, but you'll have to wait for further episodes for further updates on what the situation was with that. Alright, music on this one. I've got 3 songs from Project Zero Hour Prototype that are going to be in here. There are different versions of each song from Project Zero Hour Prototype, so I could actually repeat 1 or 2 of them if I wanted to. There are no repeats here. All new stuff that was not in the last one. It's going to be mixed a little bit in here, so it's just going to go through during the video segment, which I am going to narrate over like I did last time, which I am going to do starting now. Alright, in this video you are watching, the speed of the film varies between 4 times the speed, regular speed, there's some 2 times speed in there, all depending on what's going on. This is 2 times the speed right here. This is just me having to cross over the biggest road in the city of Windsor in the morning to go to work. I originally was going to put it in regular speed, but it took up extra time that really just didn't need to be taken up. You can't see me signaling, which is a shame because I really wish you could. I always signal left and right turns. I do not always signal stopping. I signal stopping when I'm not stopping at a light, which is clearly indicate I have to stop at it, or a stop sign. Just because the way the traffic flows in the city, I gotta keep moving pretty quickly. Speaking of, there is a little bit of an incident that is going to come up here. Now, this particular stop sign, I always look both ways, which you can't see before I cross. I didn't come to a complete stop, I very rarely do, but I also had that blue car up my ass, which did not wait properly to go through the stop sign either. It went immediately the second I started going. I was so pissed off over this. And if anybody sees that license plate, and, the cops happen to catch that person for doing what they did, hey, cool, what not. Anyways, this is an actual bike lane. Now, this is going past a nice park area. The bike lane here is not too bad. These train tracks is where it's going to get a little rough. Now, I had mentioned this school before. This school is such an annoyance to me. This is Catholic Central High School. They just built this brand new school. Okay, now, they put it right next to train tracks, which I got issues with, right on its own. Now, they redid this little tiny section in front of the school, put it in the bike lane, fixed it up, had a nice little insert for kiss and drive or whatever. But then immediately, look at this bike lane, how horrible this is. I mean, when the camera's not shaking, you can see the potholes and everything clearly. Look how horrible, and it's the same thing on the other side of the street. And this is one of the bike lanes that feeds the school. There is no bus that goes to the school. There might be extras, but none of the major buses go to this school. It's at least a 2, maybe 3 block walk to the high school, which to me isn't that big of a deal. But it's in an industrial area. These are all industrial buildings. The school's not on the parkland side of the tracks. It's on the industrial side of the tracks. How much stupider was the planning on this one? Really, I mean, now, the road gets a lot nicer here. You'll see I picked up the speed again here, I wanted you to see that whole section in real time. That was real time. That was not me speeding it up or anything. That was going through that nightmare in real time. This is me going through this a little faster. I sped the camera up here. I do slow it back down when I go to show you how it is when I cross the road here. Now, it is not safe to do a wide arcing bend to make a left-hand turn here. It is actually safer for me to creep up on everybody's side here where they can see me. You can't see it, but the car here with its blinkers on, he actually waved me past him to let me know I could go through behind this truck, knowing how slow this truck was going to be to go and start up. No one's moving that fast. Gives me the perfect opportunity to politely and safely go through, which I appreciate that driver doing. It's fantastic. I get in the bike lane and you notice this vehicle has its blinkers on, so I hang back. Now, this is also a kind of industrialized road here. A lot of heavy businesses, a lot of heavy vehicles. You notice the bike lane. Now, they just redid this whole thing over the course of the tail end of last summer. This is all going to be destroyed within probably 2-3 years if they do not keep up on it and repair it regularly. Smooth right now, but it won't be for long because of, look at all the mass traffic in here. You can see all the vehicles just there. Not advertising or anything. Now, in the case of cyclists, let me point this out. This cyclist pissed me off. Cyclists are not supposed to use the sidewalk, especially when there is a bike lane on both sides of the road on this road. This is Dougal Avenue. There's a bike lane on both sides. That cyclist should have crossed over at the light there and used the bike lane on the other side of the road. Now, I do not know the destination of that cyclist. Maybe the Jiffy Lube that I passed there was their destination, and therefore, okay, I can understand. However, most likely that cyclist was going further down the road and chose to use the sidewalk instead of the bike lanes like they should have. The bike lanes are there, use them. I love this particular bike path. This particular bike path is awesome. Now, on this particular day, I actually had to stop. I don't always stop here at the stop sign, I'll admit that. But if you'll notice, there's a truck that was going to pull over. I saw that truck, so I stopped. The truck could not make it through with the oncoming traffic, so I kept going. That was the case. I think the truck turned shortly afterwards. I don't remember how heavy the traffic was behind me. That is to access the train tracks you can see above there in the passageway that I'm about to go through. This gives us a safe passage. This used to be a death trap for cyclists. Oh my god, this was a complete death trap for cyclists. They took the time and effort to put all this in. Pisses me off. I will still see the odd cyclist go through there when they, instead of using the safe route, which is so much nicer. That debris on the ground there is a combination of just plant debris with a little bit of light litter in there. A lot of homeless people tend to use this particular spot as cover when the weather kind of sucks a little bit, and in the summer it's kind of nice-ish to sleep in, I guess. I would assume. This is still on the bike path there. This is a great way to go through. When I was talking about that one death trap going through with that traffic there, this was all built. It does cause a slight detour. The slight detour is worth the safety, and it's nice. It's a nice ride through. I enjoy it. I wish there were more like flowers and gardens and stuff in through here maybe, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Get a lot of birds in that. Now, this is an entrance on the EC Road Expressway, so you do have to be careful going through here. You can't see which way my head's moving, so you can't see as I'm looking both ways extensively before crossing the road. There are signs up saying that you should walk your bike across the road here. I always ride my bike. It's quicker, and I get out of cars ways faster, and I just don't trust cars. Okay, so the reason why this video right here is in regular time, you'll see that the lady there is working on across the street there. She is spraying the weeds in between the cracks. This is a City of Windsor employee doing this work. No gripes with that. It helps take care of it. You spray the weeds, whatnot, therefore they don't destroy the cement work. That is great. That is wonderful. That is fantastic. No gripes, no issues. They even make sure that they're out of my way enough for me to get through when the light changes. Kind of, sort of, more or less. Check out this mess on the ground though. You see all the debris here? There was a car accident here. And that car accident, no one cleaned it up. Just to show you, that was at 9:15 in the morning. This is at approximately 3:30, 3:45 going home. The same debris is all still there. So, the woman that was there from the City of Windsor spraying the weeds did not clean it up. If She did report it. Nobody from the city went out there to clean it up. We're talking a 6-hour window, basically. No one cleaned that mess. It's absolutely disgusting how bad the city of Windsor is about cleaning up sidewalks. The road, they'll clean. They're around the curb, the gutter section there, maybe not so much. Sidewalks, forget it. They don't clean them at all. Not at all. I haven't been back since, so I don't know if it's been cleaned up or not yet. But that's my big gripe on this one. Now you'll see going through here, this is all residential area for the most part. It's all bike path through here. It's great, it's fantastic. There is going to be another issue coming up in a moment here, and this one I'm going to talk about in some detail, because this particular next issue that comes up affects a multitude of safety. And I talked to the principal of the school where this incident happens, and here we go. I'm all for the kiss and drive lane, okay? That's the kiss and drive lane. Teacher. Now you'll see I've got this video up here because I didn't want to show any of the kids. The cars are a different story. I was trying to get information on what was going on. One of the students was nice and helping me. One of the parents was complete and utter jackass. I guarantee it was the asshole in the minivan that was parked in the lane. Bike lanes, you are not allowed to park in them. You are not allowed to stop in them. Now, if there was a parent, let's be clear, I'm a reasonable person, because me and the principal of the school talked about this in depth. If there was a parent there who was getting their kid out of the car, it's all backed up. Like, you saw how the flashers were there. There was no one in the car with the flashers. Not a single person was in that car. If they had been getting their child out of a car, like kid was in a car seat, you know, because they do junior kindergarten and kindergarten there, senior kindergarten. And so those kids are usually in car seats. So if there was a parent getting a kid out of a car seat, totally different story. If there was a kid getting a kid out that's like in a wheelchair or needs special access or whatever, and they got one of those ramps that goes down really slow, like that is a completely different story. I am cool with that. That is fine. When there is nobody in there because the parent is out on the grass, I got issues with this. Now here I lost footage. I'm going to switch gears slowly. I lost footage. I accidentally must have hit the button with my thumb. All of a sudden it kicks back in. You lose a chunk of what I was going through here, and I'll explain it coming up in a moment. What you missed out on is, this is me doing my reroute. You missed out on why I have to do a reroute here. And it's because of construction being done right behind St. Clair College, which is where I work at. St. Clair College is not affiliated with this in any way whatsoever. I do not work for St. Clair College. I work at St. Clair College. There is a difference. This is where I would this is what it says I should be able to do. I tried this path last year when they were doing work by the college. It didn't work. This is the path I actually have to do. It says it's a 10-minute ride. It felt a hell of a lot longer than 10 minutes, I tell you. But the video footage, which is this footage going forward here, is less than 10 minutes. Absolutely less than 10 minutes. This is actually 100% in real time. I didn't slow anything down. This is me picking up speed. A lot of that clicking you've heard through there, that's me doing gear shifting. I have speed shifters, so I just have to hit a button really quick and it quickly shifts gear. So a lot of that loud click, that's what it is, because the shifters are right by the camera microphone. Just like, you know, I left the noise, no matter what speed it was at, going throughout the entire background, just to give you a vibe of what's going on. And the music that is going in here as well, I've already done the introduction for at the beginning. So, this is just going down one of the residential streets. Sadly, this is a very slow section. This section in particular is just really slow, and it's not that I'm going slow either. I believe the speeds are calculated at doing an average of 20 kilometers an hour on your bike. I think that's about the average they're calculated at, and I was doing about 20. It's amazing how slow it looks in here versus, you know, how quick I'm actually going by on my bike. I was huffing and puffing a lot though at this point because I was pretty tired. This was my first long bike ride of the year going to work. The whole bike ride to work takes normally would take about 25-30-ish minutes, give or take. This particular long route takes about 35. Yeah, it kind of sucks having to do this reroute through. What are you gonna do, right? You'll notice their car gives me lots of room, although that big jostle is me hitting the sewer, which I usually try to avoid, but there are a lot of cars going down the road, so I just kind of dealt with it. I really, cars don't like driving on them. Why would I like driving on a bike, right? I love these big old trees here, man. This is nice. Now, along this way, you saw on that one map where it says I'm supposed to be able to do a cut through. I've actually, in the past, tried looking for that cut through. I can't find it. I think it was there in the past, and then it got fenced over in recent years, and it was never corrected. I could be wrong on that, and I could just be very unfortunate in the fact that I've never found it. And then on the flip side of that means you're fortunate enough and you get to explore what's going to be the slight alternate route. Once again, I do apologize. This part of it is not the most exciting, so thankfully I've got the cool music going in the background. I can use that shit to my enjoy it. Yeah. This is also okay. So this is South Windsor. This is not one of the wealthy areas, but this is definitely classified as the upper middle class or lower upper class area of the city. Houses in this area of the city will currently run you probably between 500 and 600,000 Canadian dollars. And for example, see if there is no, most of these houses here are bigger than mine are. As you can see, it was garbage day. We all have it, right? It happens. So yeah, as I was saying, the prices around here are kind of pricey, and those are kind of the lower end prices around here. This is a Catholic church right here. I used to be Catholic. My name is Christian. Good indication that I'm at least something of Christianity at some point, right? Alright, nothing to say on the church. It's a nice little church, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we got a stop sign. We go around the corner. Now, you will notice I have a bike lane here. And you'll notice right away it says this lane ends. This is important. Pay attention. Now, part of this at least makes sense to a small degree. There's an entrance into there. There were some schools back the other way that you couldn't see, so the bike lane makes sense. Bike lane ends right here. Now you notice there's anything to move over to the other side of the street.
God, I love the city.
And you notice the other side of the street doesn't have a bike lane there either. You'd have to go up on the sidewalk. Now keep watching. This keeps getting better. This is city engineering at its finest. Absolute finest. Okay? Now that stop sign you saw briefly there, that was an exit out of a building. That was not, or it was a bike path. I can't remember what it was. Either a bike path or an exit out of a building. But not a properly indicated spot anywhere along there that it is a pedestrian crossing. I have to go all the way up to the highway. That's right, folks. This is a highway right here. To find the first pedestrian crossing so I can cross the street. Because you see that big sign right there? It says, no walking, no cycling.
Oh,
yeah, that's because it's a highway. It's not safe for me or the cars. In the slightest. Not even remotely.
Stupidest.
Now, what I gotta do is I gotta cross the street because I gotta use that bridge to come back over. This is gonna be fun watching this. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the lights. Now the camera's swinging around like that. That's because it's on my handlebars, so I'm not really actually watching it properly. I just kind of move the handlebars around like I normally would. It's more for safety in case I get hit by a car so people can see what the hell happened. At least if I get hit from the front. Okay. Now that bike you can see there, that is one of the renter bikes. We have rental bikes here. Those are cool. I'm all pro rental bike. And as you can see, there is no bike lane. That is not a bike lane, so I have to use the sidewalk here. I have no choice. That's absolutely just how it is. Alright. There we go. Now I'm back onto a pedestrian pathway. Now, I don't do this too often, because I usually take the back road in. This honestly added 7 minutes onto my trip to work. Like, to the point where I lock my bike up. Added 7 minutes on. Probably more than 7 minutes. I'm being generous saying 7 minutes from what I would normally have done. Alright, now going up this hill. This is like the biggest hill in the city of Windsor. I swear to God it is. Oh my lord, man. I was like, Windsor is flatland, man. I mean, there's a gradual uphill in some spots, stuff like that. But this is like the biggest hill. You want to get a good downhill speed, man? This will get that's paved. Just to, because eventually I'll get video footage of some unpaved hills. But this is paved, the most vicious paved hill in the city of Windsor. Whee! Alright, now there is a spot coming up here, and I don't have a lot of speed. I've got enough speed here that I cannot keep up pedaling on my heaviest gear, right? Now there is a cross-through point right here. And right here, I'm at like so much speed that like I said, I can't keep up yet. It's right around this point that I start kicking back in on my heaviest gear. I could have crossed through there if I jammed on my brakes, gave up all momentum I had, and then wanted to go through the parking lot. And I'm kind of annoyed that that is there where it is, because it's horrible for cyclists for that reason. That was designed with joggers, walkers, all those lovely people in mind. Now, going through here, this is a shared pathway. I have to be extra cautious because I'm going at a higher speed. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to give up my speed going through here. You'll notice that cyclist doesn't either. We're just very mindful of each other. Now, unlike that cyclist, I am not wearing a helmet. I really should wear a helmet, and I think I might actually get into wearing a helmet. I don't have a good reason for not doing it other than I'm old school. But it's getting more and more dangerous with the cars that I'm really getting to the point where I'm truly contemplating more and more going to using a helmet now. Which is sad. It is really sad that I have to be more cautious because people that have the vehicle that are supposed to be cautious are not. And you know, the city doesn't enforce anything until after I get hit by a car. Yeah, that's the city of Windsor. Alright, so I cut the video at that point because you don't need to see me going and locking my bike up and all the stuff like that. Plus, at that point, I'm also technically on St. Clair College property, and I try not to film on other people's property because technically you're supposed to have permission, and I don't have permission. I can argue, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to, okay? That was just me going to work. You don't need that last, 100 feet, okay? So, anyways, with that, I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you enjoyed some of my ranting here, some of my talking. As you can see, especially when the video goes into the really fast parts, there is some really good cycling in the city of Windsor. There is some really good stuff. Our previous mayor, Eddie Francis, and the administration he had going, well, they did a lot of stupid, and I mean a lot of stupid things. One of the good things they did do is they really beefed up the cycling and the bike pathways and stuff like that in the city of Windsor. The current mayor, Drew Dilkins, who I could be childish and call him names, I'm not going to. I'm just going to say he's really kind of dropped the ball when it comes to the cycling infrastructure in the city. He's flat out canceled certain projects because he said it was going to be a waste of time and money due to other projects that were going to come down the line. Here we are into his now second term, and those other projects never came down the line, so he's just spewing crap. He doesn't want to invest in cycling. He has no interest in investing in cycling in this city. And any investment that has been done into cycling in this city since he's personally done it, it's either been just slight extensions or betterments of stuff that was already done, or this was stuff that was already on the books that he just didn't get around to canceling yet. I really got issues with Dilkins. I think he's horrible for this city, and unfortunately, we haven't put a good candidate up against him. I really contemplated it. I really contemplated running against him, but the problem is I need this, and I don't have that. And this is where I do my pitch for Patreon, folks. Click on my Patreon. You can throw me money that way. Anyways, leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. You're going to see more cycling, and I'm definitely going to be talking more about the city of Windsor in the cycling videos coming up. That is going to be a bulk of Windsor for the next few months. I have a lot going on. You're going to get to see a lot of kitten videos, too. This is my new kitten. This is Neelix. Neelix the Squeak.
Really?
Is his full name. You're going to get to see lots of videos of Neelix, as long as you click the like button, the subscribe button, the bell for notifications. Once again, leave me a comment. Let me know how much more video you want to see of Squeak. I'm going to put lots of video of Neelix the Squeak up. You so much you guys are going to get sick of it. Might start doing it as those YouTube short things. Anyways, hope you enjoyed Neelix the Squeak. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy the music. More Project Zero Hour prototype. Man. Morning. Hello. Okay, folks. I've done all the pitches. I've asked you to do all the stuff. You're watching this on other stuff. Click on those buttons too. Peace. Love. Take care.